What is love? Love, oh that love. Amore, Liebe, Ljublju. What haven't a man done to get love from a woman? How much pain, destruction and death has been produced for just the notion of love and kindness from a beloved one. Love has been a very powerful inspiration for creating art, writing poems and novels. This human emotion, together with Darren Aronofsky's film The Fountain from 2006, will be discussed in this video essay from Film Magistery. Ancient Greeks had identified 4 forms of love: storge, or kinship, philia, or friendship and platonic desire, eros, or sexual desire, and finally agape, or divine love. Storge is the Greek word for natural affection, for instance the love of parents towards their children. Philia is the Greek word for friendship, platonic desire or affection. Eros is the Greek for sexual, passionate or romantic love, and is often translated to the present meaning of the English word for love. In Freudian psychology, eros is not to be confused with libido, but with the desire to create life. For Carl Jung, the counterpart of eros is logos, or the principle of rationality. He said that woman's psychology is founded on the principle of eros, the great binder and loosener, whereas from ancient times the ruling principle ascribed to man is logos. The concept of eros could be expressed in modern terms as psychic relatedness, and that of logos as objective interest. The last Greek word for love is agape, which means self-emptying or love for divine. In Christian theology, this self-emptying or kenosis means the self-emptying of one's own will, becoming totally responsive to God's will. All of the 4 Greek forms for love are being manifested in Darren Aronofsky's great work, The Fountain. On the surface, this film deals with a typical love story. A man is struggling with the concept of mortality, desperately searching for a cure that will save his wife from the coming death. Haven't we seen this kind of plot before? It does sound a little bit familiar, doesn't it? Do you know how many films have been made with love as their theme? Well, me neither, but I'm quite certain that the number is in thousands within all the subgenres of romance film, historical romance, romantic drama, chick flick, romantic comedies and so on. But this film, The Fountain, is different and so much more. Let's try to take a closer look at it. The Fountain contains 3 parallel stories, each placed in different times. The first story is about a conquistador, Thomas Verde, who is sent by his queen Isabella to the New World in order to find a secret that will free Spain and all mankind from tyranny. Furthermore, Isabella has promised to Thomas that they shall live forever together once he finds the secret. The story takes place in the late 15th or the beginning of the 16th century. The second story takes place in present day. The doctor Tom Creo is desperately trying to find a medical breakthrough for his wife Izzy, who has cancer and is about to die. They love each other, but Izzy's disease is spoiling their happiness, and Tom cannot accept that love of his life is close to death. In the process, Izzy is writing a novel, but knows she won't be able to finish it, so she hopes Tom will write the final chapter. The third story seemingly takes place in the future. Tommy is traveling to space in some kind of etheric bubble. In it there is also the tree of life, although it looks very sick and very close to dying. Seemingly, the 3 stories have nothing in common and are not directly connected, since they take place in very different time periods, which is approximately in years of 1500, 2000 and 2500. Now comes the interesting part. There are no 3 stories, but only 1. Since Izzy, from the present, is writing a book, we can watch her several times telling Tom to finish it. It means that she wasn't able to complete her book because she died. All she needs now is the final chapter being written, and the final chapter is up to Tom to bring to closure.
My conquistador. Always conquering.
No, something amazing. We tested
That's for you.
For me? What is it?
To open it. Pen and ink for writing. It's all done except the last chapter. I want you to help me.
How?
Finish it. Finish it.
But which one of these three stories is real and which are fiction? We know that Izzy from the present is ill and that she is writing a book, that she is not able to complete it. So the story from the past is clearly a part of her book. Now, Tom from the present and Tommy from the future could be actually one and the same person, since there are many indications of it. They have the same tattoo on their ring finger and they both know or remember Izzy. Also, Izzy is appearing several times before Tommy in the space bubble on their journey to Xibalba, the afterlife. But if there is 500 years between Thomas from the past and Tom from the present, how is it possible that Tom from the present is also alive 500 years in the future, embodied as the hairless Tommy? Keep in mind that the fountain is clearly relying on mechanics of mythology, religion, and symbolism. In one scene, Izzy tells Tom about the Mayan belief in underworld, where the dead souls get to be reborn.
You
see it?
The gold star?
It's actually a nebula wrapped around a dying star. That's what makes it look gold. What? I took science.
When?
Junior high. The Mayans called it Xibalba.
Xibalba.
It was their underworld. The place that dead souls go to be reborn.
What are you talking about?
My book. I'm writing about it.
I thought it took place in Spain.
Begins there. Ends there.
Are you done?
Almost.
Good. When do I read it?
Someday soon it will explode, die, and give birth to new stars. How amazing that the Mayans chose a dying star to represent their underworld. Of all the healthy points of light in the sky, how did they find one that was dying?
Izzy even says that her story begins in Spain and ends there, in Xibalba, the afterlife. And this is exactly what the future Tommy intends to do. He wishes to make his loving Izzy immortal, since he believes their love is eternal. The film begins with a stylized quote from the Bible. Therefore the Lord God banished Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden and placed the flaming sword to protect the tree of life. Genesis 3:24. And indeed, we see in several sequences the conquistador Thomas arriving to the top of a Mayan pyramid where he meets a god with a flaming sword. Here Thomas gets stabbed and presumably killed, which symbolizes mortality of the man. Mankind cannot cross the line between this and another world and stay alive. But the man, Thomas, Tom and Tommy, will do everything to live forever with his beloved Isabella, and so they are all on the quest to find the tree of life, which will make them immortal again. While Thomas the Conquistador gets killed by the Mayan guard, and Tom from the present fails to acquire a cure for his dying love, Tommy from the future is traveling in his space bubble to the nebulae Xibalba in order to save the tree of life, which contains the soul or the pulse of life of his beloved Isabella. By doing so, he saves both Isabella the Queen and Izzy, the ill lady from the present. Now back to the Greek understanding of love. In the fountain, we can definitely identify Eros, the sexual desire, which is observable many times in the film. The viewer can clearly see and feel that passionate and romantic sentiment between Thomas, the conquistador, and the Queen Isabella, which are clearly historical projections of present time Tom and Izzy. Storge, or familial love, is also present, since Tom and Izzy are a married couple and they care deeply for each other. As partners in love, they are also great friends to each other, which is a characteristic of philia, or the platonic desire. I will argue that even agape, or divine love, is present in the relationship between the two people. Their love seems to transcend not only time, but space and material world too. Isn't this love possibly directly connected to a divine entity, if it can survive time and space? The Fountain tells us a story of eternal love of a man and a woman whose affection does not fade with time, but it demands to breathe forever, subtly embodied in the ancient and mythical tree of life. Thomas, Tom, and Tommy wants to reverse the state of the world to time of Adam and Eve, time when man and woman were immortal and lived forever. If love is eternal and lasts forever, Tommy believes that man and woman can and should be immortal as well. Without mankind, there is no love left. Their love existed from the first man and the first woman. Tom and Izzy are truly Adam and Eve, who want to get back to their eternal and rightful habitat, the one they once got expelled from, Garden of Eden. This concludes the 5th episode of Film Magistery. To find out more about this episode and the podcast, please visit the website magistery.dk.